What's up, you guys? Chet-Guthrie, the Dream Poet here, coming to you all with the 5th vlog of my 4th annual birthday road trip series. As you know, I'm here with my best friend Isaiah Flowers. He thinks it's pretty cold. I mean, it is pretty cold outside. But today, guys, we are out here in Millbrook, Alabama. And out here in Millbrook, Alabama is the well, not really so much abandoned, but the film set of the 2003 blockbuster film Big Fish. Anyway, you guys, it's a pretty awesome attraction here in this area. Most of the buildings have been torn down from the era, but there's still quite a few that are left over. I've only seen like bits and pieces of the film, but I know enough to know like the filming locations. So anyway, guys, we are going to walk into Spectre, me and Isaiah, and we are going to check out the town from Edward Bloom's life. Now on the outside where Spectre is behind us, this is where the dark forest used to be, but it's been gone for a while now. You see, after the movie was filmed, a lot of the set was taken down, much like the dark forest, but there are quite a few homes left, much like the main entrance. If you all remember the 2003 film, this is where Edward Bloom comes in to Spectre. You know, and much like when his son finds out that Edward came back and he helped save the town from bankruptcy. I mean, probably one of the most favorite things that I've ever seen, or one of the most favorite scenes from that movie, is when he and his giant friend, when they fixed Jenny's old house. Anyway, sadly, that's another thing that is no longer here. But this is really awesome that the entrance to Spectre is still here, and obviously you can tell it is made out of styrofoam. Talk about some real Hollywood magic. Like you see with the tree, it's hollow, but beneath that you also have the styrofoam. And I mean, it's so crazy because it looks like it's an actual tree, only it's not an actual tree. Look, the inside is even made out of metal. Tell me how cool that is. And if you look at this, you can see where, I mean, it doesn't look like a tree. It just looks like a part of the film set that they just cut off. Look, you can even see the fiberglass where it used to be as well. So now that we have seen the iconic trees, let's go into Spectre. And obviously we are greeted by probably one of the key scenes of the film, when a young Jenny throws Edward's shoes on this pole. And it looks like several years later, up to 22 years after the film was made, looks like people are still doing it to this day. But obviously it kind of looks like it can't handle no more. But I just remember like watching scenes like from the movie. I mean, all this was green. Of course, you know, there were way more houses, but you know, those have long since passed. I think what really got this place under my radar is the one of my favorite YouTube channels, the Grim Life Collective. Michael and Jessica, they're one of my favorite vloggers. Probably the reason why I'm a little bit screwed up, but you know what? We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna judge. And you would think that these houses are real because what did you just say, Isaiah?
I'm just wondering if they're real or not. If they look real anyway. I'd say they're not. Coming up close.
I mean, what he just said, that is again Hollywood movie magic. Like at the bottom, you can clearly see it looks like an actual chimney, only when you get to the top, well, there's no chimney and it's made out of plywood. Looks like this building has kind of taken a beating over the years. I mean, let's see what this is like. Well, I mean, that's real wood, but obviously they use kind of fake wood. It looks genuinely real. The steps are kind of worn out too. But yeah, this is inside. This is what it looks like on the inside. Like, it looks like a house, but it's not a house. You can also see where the film set numbers are. I mean, that's Hollywood magic for you. Video production at its finest. Now, the Grim Life Collective video, you could go in this, but it looks like the owners have put some fencing up to keep people from, I guess, getting inside and doing damage that they don't want done. This is cool, especially in terms of film history. It makes me think a lot about my days as a video production student. Although one day I would like to use my degree, and I'm still planning on it. I mean, it just makes me think about, like, talking about budgets, the design aspect of it. I mean, all this recreation of these buildings makes me think about this. I mean, it is totally crazy. And of course, you know, these buildings never looked like this. If you remember in the 2003 film, when Edward first comes here, all these houses are like really nice and really well put together. It's a very happy town. Well, you know, later on in the film, he comes back when he saves the town with his circus friends, and that's when the town looks like worn out and desiccated. Again, just look at how all this was done. It's all plywood, even though you would expect this to be a house of some sort. Isaiah, have you looked into some of these houses? It's all a film set. Like,
I took most of the stuff out.
They did. What's in this one? This one's seen better days. I think isn't the mayor's house like down here? I think it is. That one we'll check out here in a minute.
This one says curtain.
Oh wow. But yeah, this one looks like it's a little more well put together. And you can see the film set numbers. Okay, well, let's keep checking out the remains of Spectre, shall we? And here at the end, right where the church is, here is the mayor's house. I kind of figured it out, it was, because if you line up shots, this is kind of where Edward was eating pie. I believe it was either pie or cake with the mayor and another individual. I forget that actor's name, but a young Jenny, she runs down this way and she throws his shoes up there. And again, I find it so interesting how Hollywood magic works, because it looks almost like an actual chimney, but you kind of see what's supposed to be bricks is just a big giant piece of, I guess, plastic, I guess you would say. But here in this building, there's a bit more of a film set in here, just because this is where Edward was eating pie. Let's see if I can't get up here. Yep. Although obviously there's nothing in here now. I mean, where Edward would be eating lunch with the mayor, it would be in the front of that fireplace. You know, the mayor would be sitting right in front of that, right in front of it, and you'd have, gosh, Ian McGregor, that's his name. You would have Ian McGregor's character sitting right about here, who played Edward. I had a brain fart. But since this is movie magic, you can see where like all of it looks like a normal house, but when you get to the top, there's nothing there. Almost forgot Ian McGregor's name. Like I said, I can't remember the other actor's name. But you know, it's cool to see what remains of a film set. So now let's get back down. Oh. Ooh. It's really windy. It's messing with my hair a little bit, although I need a haircut to begin with anyway. And I really like the natural aesthetic about this place, because I love like all the dead trees that are just out in the middle of the river. It definitely sets up the vibe for Big Fish, especially its ending. Now, I do know the ending, but I'm not going to spoil it here on the channel. But if you know the ending, you know. Movie set buildings are not safe. Well, I can see why that they blocked them up the way they did. I've seen this church quite a few times. Of course, you see it a lot in the movie. But I've kind of wondered if like, it's like, well, it more than likely is like every other building here in the town of Spectre. But I wonder what, like, if there's any like particular build that makes it look different. Oh, you can't. Oh, you can. Again, movie magic. Okay, what does it look like in there? Oh, wow. Okay then, that, again, this would make you think that this is an actual old church, but no, it's all fake.
Movie magic's pretty cool.
I mean, like I said, I mean, you learn about film and stuff and the design. I mean, people can really, the design people really know how to make something look real or fake. Ew. I don't know. Like, I haven't seen any either. I mean, yeah, you guys, like here on the island, there are goats. But we haven't seen a single one. I guess maybe because it's off season and it's kind of cold outside. But here, we'll go look for the remains of Jenny's house here in a second. But real quick, we'll check out this building. Just because it's all movie magic. That's so cool how they did all this. Although, I mean, 22 years later, you can kind of tell that the houses are getting a little bit worse for wear. Now, surprisingly, the remains of Jenny's house is kind of far out of the way from Spectre. Kind of interesting to see how like movie magic can make you feel like it's all in one spot, but really, I mean, it's all in multiple different areas. But we have come across the remains of Jenny's house, and here it is, Jenny's house. This is one of the many sites on Jackson Lake Island Hollywood director Tim Burton used to film scenes from his Academy Award and Golden Globe nominated movie Big Fish. Burton's depiction of the Daniel Wallace novel was released in 2003 by Sony Pictures. These are the original columns from Jenny's house, which once stood on the pilings along the water's edge. Over the years and a few floods, the house, which was fallen down and unsafe, was removed. As Will Bloom, Billy Crudup, seeks to understand the many tales told by his dying father, Edward Bloom, Albert Finney. He visits the older Jenny, Helena Bohem Carter, who tells Will his father rescued the bankrupt town of Spectre by purchasing it at the auction and restoring it to its original beauty. Carl the Giant, Matthew McGregory, that's the actor that I couldn't remember, helps Edward repair Jenny's dilapidated house by pushing it back up into an upright position. Director Tim Burton in the house built on a hinge system in order to allow the structural movement during the film. So anyway, that's the scene right there, and here I'll show the scene right here. That's really cool how all that works. But here are some of the other actors and actresses, like the younger Jenny, played by Haley Ann Nelson, older Jenny, played by Helena Bonham Carter, and of course Ewan McGregor and Will Bloom, played by Philip Crudemp, and Albert Finney, the older Edward Bloom. Makes me kind of sad that there's really nothing left of this house, but a very memorable scene nonetheless. If you listen, it's solid. Well, not really solid. It's wood, like solid wood. It makes you think that it would be something else, but no, it's not. It's supposed to look like concrete, but it's not. And I repeated myself. Yes, my critics can hate me for that one. Yeah, that is so cool how movie magic works. And this is really the only thing left of Jenny's house. Nothing really all that left, or nothing really left except the pillars. That was really cool. And yes, Isaiah's giving me the bunnies, the bunny fingers. Anyway, guys, this is going to be another vlog for another day. Remember, make sure to like and subscribe. Always means a lot. Goes to show that y'all care and that y'all want to see more awesome videos like this. So I'm not going to lie, I did enjoy this very much thoroughly. I'm going to watch the full movie. Anyway, guys, love y'all very much. Peace out, y'all.